the making of the pearl or the fuel for the fire?
The hardships that you're going through, first you must know why you're going through that hardship. If you are here specifically, I'm talking about people of tariqat. People of tariqat, people following this way, people following shaykhs. As Prophet ﷺ is saying, we're trying to be believers, yes? The believer, he knows. Even if the thorn enters into his finger, whether it is a curse, a punishment, or it is a blessing. How he knows? How he knows? How he knows? He's taking account. It is called tafakkur. He's taking account. He's looking at every angle. This happened because of this, because of this. Outside is happening because of this person, because of this. He goes, he digs deep. He's just saying, oh, this happened because of this person. No, he's saying this person, but maybe it's because of this also. Maybe it's my fault also, but my fault this. And at the end of the day, the believer believes what?
That is from Allah.
We come back to the beginning. Amantu. Then he surrenders. But he knows at which point it is my fault, at which point I could have avoided, which point Allah is testing me, which point is just shaitan is doing something, which point. He knows all of that because he looks properly. After a while he says, as you like. That time he will know. That time, when he makes insaf, that time when he makes, how you say, asking for forgiveness? He makes tauba, he knows why. So many people make tauba without knowing why, they just don't want to get punished. They don't care, how do I get out of this? They're saying, it's not because they're not interested in what they did wrong, what rights they take from everyone, what damage had happened. They're not interested in all of that. Why it happened? Is this a habit of 20 years? Is it something that just happened? Is it something that his ego calculated? Is it coming from dunya or shaitan or a combination? He's not interested in all of that. All he's interested in is, don't punish me. How do I get out of this? You understand? But then when the believer, he thinks, then he understands. At the end of the day, the believer says what? With all of this, the believer says what? With all of this, the believer says, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, know that whatever good that is, it is coming from Allah, whatever bad is because of your ego. And he's not going to fight. It's not. But I'm a. You ever hear any of the good ones saying, but I'm a prophet. Why are you doing this to me? But I'm a saint. Why are you doing this to me? You don't. Because they know that there is always a hikmah there. So it requires a lot of thinking, a lot of tafakkur. But doesn't mean that you do tafakkur by yourself. You're going to come up with it. That's why guidance is necessary. You can be sitting and thinking, but you're thinking the wrong way. You can be sitting down thinking the wrong way. The guide is guiding you, and you say, okay, I'm going to go. Or you can sit thinking the wrong way in tariqat, making tafakkur, and your guide says it's this way. You say, no, it's not. You can be doing that too. You're not going to learn too much. You're not going to learn too much. Because if you are going in the way of Allah, if you're making real tauba for the wrong things that you have done, meaning bad things that happened to you, wrong things that has happened, you ask for forgiveness. Sincerely, Allah is saying, not only He will forgive you, but He will turn all your bad actions as if you made good actions. Not only that, He will reward you for that. So, like what? You do so many wrong things. You find tauba, you find one friend of Allah, you say, guide me, you follow, you try to submit as much as you can. And there are signs, and it shows whether you're submitting or you're not submitting. Whether you're serving or you're not serving, they're open signs. You're serving, you're submitting. You're following the friend of Allah. And you're saying tauba, all these wrong things I've done, oh astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. All these wrong things. You remember, you say astaghfirullah, and you know why you did it, you know when you did it, you know who is, how much of it your fault, others, believers saying it's my fault. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka kuntu minaz zalimin. You're saying that, then that time, whatever experience, for example, this is just one small example, whatever experience that you went through, you'll be able to reach out to others who are going through that experience. You know. I read somewhere, they say, someone is saying, whenever I meet someone who is kind, I always like to ask, or compassionate, I always like to ask, how many times your heart has been broken for you to be this kind? Do you understand? Meaning that one has gone through so much hardship, he understands that, then he can reach to people with hardship too. And he reaches people with hardship with mercy, not reaching with hardship with hardness. Like these Wahhabis, the Wahhabi-minded kinds, square-head kinds of people. They do so many wrong things. They enter into Islam, they enter into Wahhabism. Then they start cursing at everyone else around them who's been supporting and helping them, including their parents who are non-Muslims, making them to hate their version of Islam. Do you understand? So, it's a big subject, how to turn that. Inshallah, we will be able to. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Ali.
BismillahiRehmannirRahim. Shaykh, do we, as murids of this Dergahı, should we ask for small difficulties from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so when the large difficulties come, we can pass the test?
BismillahiRehmannirRahim. You should not ask Allah for any difficulties. You should not ask Allah for any difficulties. You should not ask Allah for any tests. In fact, what we say is, may Allah not test us, but with whatever that He's sending to us, may we be able to do it sincerely, properly, so that we can improve ourselves and in our faith. Understand? That time, because you're not asking for the test, but you're taking everything like it is a test, which means you want to be good in everything that you do. That itself becomes a test. Allah doesn't have to. If Allah tests us, we will fail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He only tests His prophets. This is the tariqat, our Shaykh is saying this. We're believing it. In that way, He's testing the prophets. And we say generally Allah tests and this, but awliya Allah are saying, Allah testing the prophets first, only them. If anyone else gets that test, other than the awliya Allah and the anbiya, the saints and the prophets, we will fail. Just like someone who is a very high level person. Sheykh Efendi gave the example of a professor testing with that level a kindergarten. We are all at that kindergarten level. So we don't ask for that test, but we ask that whatever that is in front of us, we will be able to do it properly, sincerely, with love, with humility, but with sharpness and understanding also. That's important, inshallah. Clear?
Yes, Shaykh.
Inshallah. Okay.